Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you by Maui Jim Sunglasses. First Tellurium Corp., the future of mining. And Hardy Rods and Reels.
Hello everyone, my name is Rick Passek, the Fly Fishin Fanatic, and welcome to another edition of On the Bench with Sport Fishing on the Fly. Today we're going to be tying a little blob pattern with a twist. I can put these little, you'll see, little leggies on it, and I find that as long as you match the color to the color of the blob chenille that you're using, or as close as you can, or a complementary color, this thing is deadly because it's got that blob attractiveness, and then the legs that move. Again, you'll see. I've been using this one for a few years, and it's been phenomenal. So, alrighty, so let's switch over. Today in the vise we have a Hends BL 599 in a size 8. We're going to be using some Semperfli Classic waxed in a 12-aught fluoro red. It's kind of more of an orange than a red. For the main body of the blob, I'm going to be using some Flybox gel core Fritz in Sunburst. It's kind of a really bright yellow. And then for the, like I said, the legs, I'm going to be using some dyed yellow Teal plank. Alrighty, so let's get going. First thing, take my Semperfli wax, the white one or the beige one. I don't like using the black because it colors. This is classic waxed. It is a wax thread, but I like adding a little bit more just to get that extra purchase, just to make sure. So I go about to the tip of the hook. I don't try to go much further than that. Cut that off. Take my gel core Fritz here and just strip off a core like that. Strip it so the core is exposed, and then I'm just going to run this all the way back up to the front and back, all the way, and then back again. And then I want to concentrate just on this little portion up here, because you see there's got that little bit of a bump just to there and back, and that's it. Okay, I want to have a little bit of an orange underbody. It probably doesn't get seen very often, but sometimes, depending on how this material flows, it does. So now I just like stroking this all back. And with these blobs, you want to be tight up against that last turn, right? Tight, tight, tight. Every one of them tight against the last. And then I don't know if you guys are noticing, but every time I go around, you see it adds a twist to this. So I'm untwisting it every time I come around. It just makes it a little easier to manage. Probably two more here. And one more. Okay, leave myself a little bit of room at the front. Stroke that all back. I actually don't have that tight in the vise. I'm going to tighten that up a bit. There we go. There we go. Then I'm going to cut off that gel core Fritz, or that UV gel core Fritz from Flybox. Just going to stroke this all back and just come back over top of that. I want to train this material all back. Okay, so just like that. Now I'm going to take one of my feathers here, and it depends. You can see this one's got more yellow, this one's got more a little bit black, right? So I'm going to actually use the one that's got a little bit more black in it. And I'm going to strip off all the underfluff off the feather. Then I'm going to tie this in by the tip. So I'm just going to expose the tip off of here. I'm just going to grab it with my finger and just stroke all these fibers back, leaving a bit of a tie-in point, a V there, a V notch. Tie that down, go back over top of it, cut that off. Okay, just ensure that's tightened down. And then I'm going to go once. Twice. And then I'm going to check how thick it is. I just let go of it, so I'm just going to check how many legs that gave me. And then a little bit more. One more time around. Okay, and then tie that off. Stroke it back, tie over top of it. Okay, now I'm going to find my little center there of the feather. I'm just going to cut the stem because you can see there's some of those that got tied down. I'm going to pull those out. Okay, so now I'm just going to stroke that all back. Stroke it all back, and then I'm going to create quite a nice head. I want a fairly predominant orangey red head here, something nice and hot spot flashy, right? So fairly good head there. And I'm going to couple of sets of whip finishes here. Cut that off. And I see that I've got just a little bit of a fluff there in my eye, so I'm just going to give it a quick melt and just make sure none of those fibers are. That's it. That is the fly, like I said, and you can do this in multiple colors. I do it with the pink and pink. I do it with yellow. I do it with reds. I do it with blacks. I do it with all kinds of stuff. So the black one's actually really cool because I use the black blob chenille, and then I use the regular natural teal flank. So it's got that white with black barring. It looks really good as well, and it works. I find that one works really well. Don't know why, but it works really well down deep. This one here works at all over the place, and I'll actually even tie this one with a foam piece of booby foam out the back end, so it's a fab of foam arched blob, but still tie it the same way with a little foam butt, right? So, and then that one I use more as my point fly. If like here in Alberta, we're allowed to use more than one, so yeah, I use that as my point fly and get that for a washing line technique, and it helps hold it up. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and thanks for tuning in to another edition of On the Bench with Sport Fishing on the Fly. Tie lines.